Superfoods, a buzzword that is thrown around all the time, but what does it really mean? It is usually used to describe things such as chia seeds, kale, spirulina, but what if I told you there were foods out there that are even more super? Keep watching to find out what they are. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kait. I'm a health coach and I post videos on a high fat, low carb way of eating, some other nutrition stuff, some other keto stuff, things like that. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. The way I determined my top 5 superfoods is based on nutrient density. We're gonna start with number 5 and then we're gonna work our way up to number 1. As we work our way through the list, we're also going to compare them to some of the top results that come up when you search superfoods on Google, and we're going to see how they compare. All right, so starting off with number 5. I have my tablet here because there's a lot of numbers, the amounts of different nutrients, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. So eggs are the first one we're going to talk about. These are probably the one food on the list that everyone has access to. They're also relatively inexpensive, even if you're buying high quality pasture raised. So the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be comparing everything per 100 grams. In this case, 100 grams works out to be about 2 large eggs, and that is 154 calories. So it's really the egg yolks that pack all the nutrients. The egg whites are pretty much just protein. 2 eggs has about 2,000 micrograms of vitamin E, which is roughly 15% of the RDA. They also have 2 micrograms of B12. The RDA for B12 is, I think, 2.4, so 2 eggs and you've basically hit it. They also have a little bit of iron. Yeah, we'll talk about iron now. So there's heme iron and there's non-heme iron. Heme iron is pretty much only in meat, and non-heme iron is going to be in dairy, eggs, and plants. Heme iron is more easily absorbed by the body, and non-heme iron, it's still absorbed, but not as easily. So there's about 2,000 micrograms of non-heme iron in eggs. A little bit of copper, a little bit of zinc, some folate, some iodine, small amounts of DHA and EPA, which are different forms of omega-3s. Another reason you want to be eating eggs specifically is for vitamin K2. Now, vitamin K2 is pretty hard to get. You can't get it in plants at all. And I believe it's only really in eggs and organ meats. K2 is more easily absorbed by the body and it stays in your body longer than K1. So K1 is what you'll find in plants. K2 is really important for the absorption of calcium. Not getting enough K2 results in things such as weak bones and dental issues. Eggs also have a little bit of vitamin A in its active form, which is retinol. This is one of those things that you only get from animal products as well. Your body can convert beta carotene into retinol, but it does it really poorly. It's something like less than 5%, and 40% of the population cannot convert it at all. So across the board, eggs have a little bit of everything. So let's compare it to other foods that are high in vitamin E. So a quick Google search, and the top recommendation from Google is vegetable oil. And honestly, I'm not going to get into how messed up vegetable oil is today. If you want to know more about it, I have a few more videos on the topic, so you can check those out. Anyways, we're going to skip over that one, and we're going to compare it to the next 2 recommendations, which are almonds and avocados. So now on to almonds. Per 100 grams, there's about 589 calories. So you're having to consume a lot more calories to get these vitamins. No retinol, as I said, it's only in animal products. There is some beta carotene, not very much, 120 micrograms. So at most, that's gonna be like 7 micrograms of retinol, which is very, very low. No B12, no vitamin C, no vitamin D. It is a lot higher than eggs in vitamin E, 25,000 milligrams, so kind of blows eggs out of the water, but again, you're having to have about 4 times the amount of calories. No DHA and EPA, but it does have some ALA, which is one of those things that can be converted into DHA and EPA. Same as with vitamin A, we are really bad at these conversions. We can only convert less than 5%. So not much of that is gonna get converted. Iron's a little bit higher than eggs. We got some copper, we got some zinc, magnesium, some phosphorus, but overall, when you compare the same amount of calories, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck from the eggs than from the almonds. The other problem with almonds is that they are really, really high in omega-6s. Ideally, at the end of each day, you want to have a balance between omega-6s and omega-3s, so a 1-to-1 ratio. The closer you can get to this, the better, but with almonds, it is about 2,000 to 1 for omega-6s to omega-3s. So you are just really, really throwing off that balance. And when this balance is thrown off, it leads to inflammation throughout the body, which just leads to so many other issues. Chronic inflammation is the root of basically all modern diseases. So not saying almonds are bad, but you definitely do not want to be relying on them for some of these nutrients. The other food that was high in vitamin E was avocados. So per 100 grams was about 130 calories. I mean, there's a little bit of K1 in them. Other than that, you are getting a little bit of everything, but you're getting more from the eggs than from the avocado. Yeah, so I mean, just comparing them to eggs, they're not really that super. There is a little bit of D2, which is different than D3. So there's going to be D3 in eggs and there's going to be D2 in avocados. I hope I'm not losing you already. I feel like I'm talking a lot about these conversions and stuff, but yeah, it's just really important. This is how it works. It's not black and white. Not all these vitamins are the same in every single food. So the difference between D2 and D3, they are both absorbed the same by the body, but they are metabolized differently by the liver. So D3 actually raises the amount in your blood more than D2 does. There are several studies on this. The best option is to get it from the sun, but in colder months, you might need to rely on getting it from food, and animal products are the best option. So I believe it had, 3 micrograms, which was the same as eggs, but again, D2, D3, you're getting more from eggs. All right, so number 4, cod liver oil. So we're comparing all of these per 100 grams, which is way, way more than you would ever have in the serving. You would normally have like 5 to 10 grams, but we're gonna look at it for 100 grams, just see how it compares. So one of the best things about cod liver oil is the amount of omega-3s. DHA is one that is really, really high in cod liver oil. Super great for your brain. Most of us aren't getting enough of it. So in 100 grams of cod liver oil, it's 882 calories, which is just, that's a lot. But anyways, so there's 10,000 milligrams of DHA, there's 700 of EPA, and then there's 1,400 of ALA, which can be converted into the two. So just the DHA in that is so good. Other good things about cod liver oil are retinol, 30,000 micrograms. Oh, that is just absolutely crazy. And then there's also some vitamin D, so 330 micrograms, and vitamin E, 20,000. Again, this is a really big serve, so that kind of blows eggs out of the water, but yeah, you wouldn't be having this much at a time. Those are the main reasons you would be having cod liver oil. Oh, also the iodine, there's 860 micrograms. Like trace amounts of iron, copper, zinc. Yeah. So, some of the top foods when you Google omega-3s, I was really surprised and I guess happy to see that they were all seafood. So things such as salmon, mackerel, herring, all those things, those were the top recommendations, which is so good because those are actually all really good sources of omega-3s. But then after that were some of the plant sources, and those are the ones that we're going to compare to. Again, canola and soybean oil were recommended. No, these are not a good source of anything. I'm pretty sure canola oil, did they really recommend soybean? I know canola, I think, might be 3-to-1 for omega-6s to omega-3s, so it's not even that good a source. And I thought soybean was higher than that, but I'll have to double check that. Anyways, completely terrible for other reasons. But next up was flaxseed, and then we had chia seeds. So let's take a look at those. So 100 grams of flax seeds is 534 calories. No vitamin A, no B12, no vitamin C, no vitamin D, a little bit of vitamin A, a little bit of vitamin K1. It's pretty high in ALA. There's 22,000 grams. So this can be converted into DHA and EPA, but less than 5%. I feel like I'm going to repeat this a few times, but yeah. So if you're lucky, you're going to be getting 1,000 milligrams of DHA from that much ALA, but you're eating 100 grams of flax seeds, which is over 500 calories, and you might be getting just 1 gram of omega-3s compared to if you're having about a teaspoon of cod liver oil, which I want to say is about 50 calories. In that, you're getting over a gram of DHA and EPA combined. So 50 calories or 500 calories. Maybe getting it, for sure getting it. Which seems like the better source? Yeah, just trace amounts of iron, copper, zinc, a little bit of folate, magnesium, phosphorus. Really, the only good thing about flaxseed is the omega-3s that you might convert, but it's not even that good of a source. And I guess fiber, which you really don't need. So yeah, flaxseed does not have a lot going for it. Next we're gonna look at chia seeds. So chia seeds do have a bit of vitamin C. They have 1,600 micrograms. Far less ALA, only 5,800. So that's gonna convert into basically nothing. Chia seeds are really not a good source of omega-3s. Yeah, they have a bit of iron, some copper, some zinc. All three of those are decent amounts. Other than that, not much going for them. Cod liver oil is way better for omega-3s. So this one I had a hard time deciding between this one and salmon. Both are really great, but I think this one is just one step above. So we're talking about mackerel. Mackerel. This is a oily fish. Again, this is going to be a really good source of omega-3s. So I'm just going to compare it to the other three that we just looked at. So 182 calories, as I said. There's a little bit of retinol, some B12, 9 milligrams. So as I said before, daily recommendation is 2.4, but we should be striving for more than that. Anyways, there's actually a little bit of vitamin C, which I thought was interesting. Not very much, 280 micrograms, but a little bit. Vitamin E, 1,600 micrograms. I mean, it's not bad. That's coming close to 2 eggs, and yeah, only for 182 calories. But where this really shines is with the DHA and the EPA. So 1,200 micrograms of EPA and DHA and 107 of EPA. A little bit of ALA as well, but yeah, you're getting 1.2 grams of DHA for 182 calories worth. That is so good. So much bang for your buck. A little bit of iron, copper, nothing too much else to note. A little bit of iodine as well. You're getting a lot of nutrition just from this. Like, look at that, across the board. Only thing it's missing is vitamin K. All right, moving along to number 2, we have salmon roe. This is also sometimes known as caviar or just fish eggs. And these are just a nutrition powerhouse. Is that a saying? I don't know if I just made that up. Nutrition powerhouse. Okay, weird. So for 100 grams, it's gonna be about 200 calories. Again, these are a super good source of omega-3s along with other things. So you're getting a bit of vitamin A, retinol in there. Not too much, 130 micrograms. I think the RDA is 700 and 900 for men and women. This is in the US, but this number is way too low. There's research done by Weston A. Price where he was studying different tribes around the world. I think it was in like the 1930s. And some of these tribes were consuming, I think, 15,000 micrograms per day of vitamin A. So just way more. So 900 micrograms a day is nothing. Yeah, that's the RDA. So there's 130 in salmon roe. Not too much, but more than you're getting from a lot of plants. B12, 18 micrograms. So good. And there's actually quite a bit of vitamin C in fish roe as well. 18,000 micrograms, so I mean, that's not bad. If you're someone who is eating a low carb or a keto or carnivore and you're kind of concerned about vitamin C, even though you shouldn't be because it competes with glucose. So if you're eating lower carbs or eating no carbs, then the small amounts of vitamin C that you're getting from animal products are most likely enough. But if you are concerned about it, add some salmon roe in. Problem solved. Vitamin D, a little bit. Vitamin E, 10,000 micrograms. Oh my God. Yep, and then this is where it shines with the DHA and the EPA. 1,700 and 1,200. Bit of iron, some copper, some zinc, decent amount of zinc, some phosphorus, some iodine. So yeah, just overall crushing it across the board. I think for this one, we'll compare it to foods that are high in vitamin C. So it doesn't have a lot of vitamin C compared to plant foods that have a lot of vitamin C, but there is some vitamin C. And I think overall, when you include everything else that you're getting with this vitamin C, salmon roe is going to come on top. So top sources of vitamin C, we have broccoli and we have Brussels sprouts. So broccoli for 100 grams is going to be 23 calories. Not getting any retinol, a bit of beta carotene, barely any of that's going to be converted. As I said, just so much more vitamin C. No vitamin D, little bit of vitamin E, a little bit of K1, just not even worth mentioning the ALA. Decent amount of iron. Yeah, other than that, not really too much to note. Brussels sprouts, 28 calories for 100 grams. The vitamin C is close to broccoli, but not quite there. Less vitamin E, more vitamin K1. Nothing, basically, for ALA. No DHA, EPA. Yeah, everything else is just not really worth mentioning. So the only reason you would really have broccoli or Brussels sprouts would be specifically for the vitamin C. You can get a lot more of everything else all packaged together in a little bit of salmon roe. The problem with salmon roe is that it's just going to be a bit more expensive and you're always going to buy it in small amounts. So most likely you're not going to be eating 100 grams worth of it, but it's a good addition to add in here and there. And yeah, just super, super nutrient dense. All right. And we've made it to the top of the list. Number 1, can you guess it? And that is beef liver. Seriously, you just look at the nutrients in this and it's mind-blowing. The downside is that it's hard to prepare. It's a little bit intimidating. I am still pretty intimidated by it. I've tried a few different recipes and still not my favorite. I can eat it and it's not bad, but not good. Anyways, let's look at the nutrition. So we'll go right down the list because there's pretty much a bit of everything in here. For 100 grams, we have 139 calories. Vitamin A, retinol, 15,000 micrograms. I think the next highest that we've looked at today was, okay, so cod liver oil, if you have 800 calories worth of it, you're gonna have 30,000 micrograms of retinol, but no one is gonna have that much at once. And the next closest was eggs at 278, so 15,000. That is a good dose of vitamin A. Then 65 micrograms of B12. Vitamin C, 23,000 micrograms. With the vitamin C, when you cook it, some of that is going to disappear. But if you cook it just on the outside and a little bit rare on the inside, you will be getting some of that still. Then we have some vitamin D, some vitamin E, vitamin K2. I think this is everything we've talked about today. Only eggs and liver have had vitamin K2. 2 eggs had 48 micrograms and the 100 grams of beef liver is 75. So almost twice as much. There's a bit of ALA, a bit of DHA, a bit of EPA. Not much, but it is in there. 7,000 micrograms of iron, and that's gonna be heme iron, so easier for your body to absorb. Packed with copper, packed with zinc, some folate, little bit of magnesium, some phosphorus, and some iodine. So just across the board, literally has everything in it. And in pretty good amounts too. So for this one, we're gonna compare it to the top overall superfoods that most websites and different places on the internet, I guess that's websites, have at the top of their lists. So from what I could find, most places seem to think kale and blueberries were number 1. So let's look at kale first. So 37 calories for 100 grams, a bit of beta carotene, around 5,000 micrograms. Once that's converted, absolutely not comparable to beef liver. Vitamin C, there is a lot in kale, almost 4 times the amount. Some vitamin E, yep, a bit more than beef liver. Vitamin K1, no K2, about the same amount of ALA, but then no DHA and no EPA. Iron, not even close. Copper, not even close. Zinc, not even close. Folate, not even close. Bit more magnesium. No for phosphorus, and close for iodine. But overall, just look at that. Look at the difference between beef liver, which not many people talk about, and there's so much good stuff in it, and everyone talks about kale. Kale is supposed to be this big magical food, and it's okay, but when you compare it to things like beef liver and some of the other foods I've mentioned in my list today, can it really even compete? All right, and then we have blueberries. So let's look at those. 42 calories for 100 grams, laughable amount of beta carotene. Vitamin C, 30,000 micrograms, so beef liver is pretty close. Vitamin E, it comes out on top out of the 3. K1 comes out on top, but K1's pretty easy to get. It's K2 that a lot of people are deficient in. Roughly the same amount of ALA, no DHA, no EPA again. Some iron, but not comparable to beef liver. Yeah, everything else is really, really not comparable. It's just insane how much is packed into beef liver. And there you have it. Those are my top 5 superfoods. You may have noticed that they were all animal products, and that's not me being biased. These are the facts. I'm gonna link some of my favorite companies for some of these products down below. I have a really great company for the cod liver oil that I love. You need to make sure you're getting that from a really good source because it can go rancid really easily. So you need to make sure it's from a reputable company. For beef liver, I have something to show you guys. As I said before, it's a little bit intimidating, definitely not very approachable. If you don't do it right, it's a complete disaster. So yeah, I've been trying to cook it. I've more been getting lamb liver because that's a bit easier to get here. Not as good as beef liver, but it's still definitely up there. If you're still unsure about it, check this out. So these are grass-fed, grass-finished beef liver capsules. These are from a brand called Ancestral Supplements. I found these a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago or something now. Pasture raised in New Zealand, grass-fed, grass-finished, hormone, pesticide, and GMO-free, no fillers or flow agents. So there's no lubricants, binders, fillers, flow agents. The capsules themselves are made of gelatin, and that is the only other ingredient other than beef liver. I've been trying to eat liver maybe twice a week, but every day that I'm not eating it, I have been taking these, and 1 serve of these is, I think, about equal to eating 1 ounce of the liver itself. If you're intimidated by liver but want to get all of these benefits, want to get all of this nutrition, check these guys out. They have a whole bunch of other organ supplements as well. I haven't tried those ones. These are the only ones I've tried. Just like heart and brain. And I also have a discount code for 10% off. So if you want to save that, check out the link in the description box down below. Not sponsored or anything. I literally bought these and was just blown away by how amazing they are. Anyways, I think I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. If there are any other foods that you consider super that I missed out on today, tell me about them in the comments down below. I also wanted to mention that I have started a Facebook group that is called Health Coach Kait Community. So you can search that or click the link in the description box down below. Join me over there. We're going to talk all things kind of nutrition, keto, carnivore. Yeah, it's a good time. We're having a good time over there, so definitely check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.